What's going on, folks? You already know what time it is. You know what I'm going to say right now. You already know because you saw the title in the video. Today is day 33. 332 days left to go. What have you done, man? What have you done, man? You out there getting it done? You putting in some work? You making some things happen? Making some phone calls, organizing some stuff, writing it down? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? What are you doing? Do what you need to do to get where you got to go. Don't let nobody stop you. If you have a goal, and I'm talking to the people who have a goal. I'm talking to the people who are tired of wishing for things to happen, and they have what it takes to make it happen, but they just ain't putting forth the effort. You know what I'm saying? They ain't kicking themselves in the butt. It's hard for some of us to get organized. It's so hard for some of us to get organized. I can vouch for that. It's not an easy thing for me right now because the way things are going, I'm not looking. I'm looking at things to be different. Not immediately, but I'm understanding that it's going to take some time for me to get where I got to go. I never had that thought in my head when it came to anything that I wanted to do that was, that were going to be better for me. You know what I'm saying? I had this big dream to be this different person, to be this, not so much famous, but wealthy, at least well off, But I haven't done any of that, man. I haven't done any of that. I come up with these great concepts, these great ideas. And in order for me to stay relevant, to know that I'm creative, I would pass them off to somebody and say, hey, man, what do you think about this idea? What do you think about this? And I'm careful about who I talk to because I feel like maybe they would be less likely to take my idea. So I'll talk to my grandma, or not my grandma, my great aunt. I'll talk to my aunties. I'll talk to people who ain't interested in it. But then you'll find out that folks are like, man, that's a great idea, man. You should do something with that. I was like, yeah, I know. And then I fall back into my stupor. But I wasted so much time just talking to these people about these great ideas that I got in my head, and I'm not really pushing forward to do anything with it. And it's so sad because that's just one form of procrastination. That's a form of laziness. That's a form of a lack of productivity. When you have the means of doing that, it's like, it takes some time for it to sink in. And sometimes you might have been kicking it with the wrong people. You might have been hanging around in the wrong space. I could understand if you was going through something and you had like a death in the family, somebody close to you, or you lost a job, or, something of that nature. I could tell you that when I lost my job, that's when I was most focused. When I first lost that job in 2009, I'd been on the job already like 8 years. 7 years, something like that. And I lost that job and I was like, I gotta do something. So starting a YouTube channel was on my mind, but I never got around to doing it. Didn't know how to, I didn't have a smartphone at the time. And so I was just like, man, I gotta do something. So I was more focused on getting a job than I was doing any of that stuff. But I did say, well, I could do this and I could do that. And I said, when I get to the position where I can make moves like that, then I will most definitely pursue that. So that's when I ended up getting the art studio. And I was distracted, and I hate that when I look back on it because like I said, man, a lot of stuff was happening. You can't let anything get in your way. Nothing. You can't let family get in your way. You can't let trials and tribulations get in your way. Sometimes it get to a point where you're just gonna you can't move, and you're not gonna be able to make a movie. You're gonna have to cease. You're not gonna be able to do it. But I heard there was a guy in jail that's got a record deal. Not a record deal, but he has a record company. I don't know how true that is. But he has a business that he's running from jail, a legitimate business that he's running from jail. So, shoot, if that guy can do it, like, I'm going to see if I can get the information. But if that guy can do it, we can't sit back and not get anything. You know what I'm saying? Come on, a lot of us have well-to-do jobs and are not incarcerated, and we don't have distractions, but we're just lazy. Man, folks, we cannot afford to give up on ourselves. So it's like I'm talking to these people who work these jobs, and they just like me, and but they have, the way I see it, they have better opportunity to make these moves and go forward. I got a friend that he has an idea all the time. All the time he got an idea, but he ain't got what he comfortable yet. He ain't made it yet, according to him. And he does all the research he can do. And so it's like, I was leaning on him one time because he gave me like this structure, and I went by, and I was relatively successful because I sold some artwork. Excuse me, I sold some artwork, and it got me hyped up. But something personal happened in the household, and I just went downhill, man. I was just so like, if you ain't got nobody around you that's hyping you up, man, you're going to have to ignore them people on a day-to-day basis. The people that's closest to you that you expect to pick you up, don't expect them to pick you up. Look in the mirror every day and say, I got a job to do. And do it. Time is running out, folks. Time is running out. I don't care if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, if you're trying to start a Fortune 500 company, or you just really want to get closer to some family members, or you want to have a better relationship with somebody that you know, man, go do it. Go do it. Don't waste the time, man. It's horrible. It's horrible that I look back on my life and I'm like, man, I let these things get in the way. I struggle just like anybody else. Just like most people who are not successful. Those who are successful chose to be successful, and they did it by any means. And it was probably harder for some than it was for others, but they kept it moving. But I'm telling y'all, man, we cannot afford to allow people to get in our way, especially the ones that's closest to us. When we have a plan, we got to go with it. We got to take the time out, 5-10 minutes a day, 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day, and we jot down what we got going on. If we got 10 ideas, work with them. If you plan tomorrow to do one thing and you didn't do it, yeah, I know you got a bunch of ideas. Jump on the other one. Do something that you know is going to put you forward. Always do something every day that's going to put you forward. Even if you didn't do this particular thing, do this. Because what's going to happen is that when you do not do anything that's prosperous, you're going to beat yourself up about it. I didn't do nothing today. And you're going to be honest with yourself. And you're going to say, I didn't do anything today. Like today, I was supposed to put a belt on the car. I was supposed to go to Lowe's and get a piece of wood, one piece of wood, a shelf, actually, a laminated shelf. I was supposed to take some clothes to the washing machine, to the laundromat. And I was supposed to, two other things I was supposed to do. At 12 o'clock, when I realized this, I was like, okay, so I'm on a diet. I'm on a diet type of thing, trying to do something different. And so I try to eat earlier in the day. I got to get that out the way. I sat down, started fixing my food, and I, got everything together, did my little smoothies, my little drink and everything. I finished it. And then I was like, I still got this other stuff to do. So I managed to, and there's one more thing that I can do too before it get too late. I managed to switch my TVs out. Some people might say, oh, that's not a big deal, it's just TVs. I say, well, for me, when I make a plan to do something and I tell somebody else I'm going to do it, when I don't do it, I'm like, man, it really has to be done. But I didn't do it. And that's where the kicker comes in, because now it's one thing that it has to be done. It's not a life changer, but I needed to do it. And for comfort purposes. And I was like, man, got to jump on it. Was going to do it last night, about 12 o'clock. No, it was about 9 o'clock last night. I was like, man, we're going to be at this for a minute. And I was like, I'm trying to go to bed. I'm really trying to start getting my rest too. Nope. Soon as I was reminded that it was something we were supposed to do, I said, let's do it. Let's do it right now. So when you got positive people on your team that's like, hey, remember you said you was going to do this. Remember you said you was going to do that. They can't make you do it, but they can remind you, hey, don't forget, this is what you said you was going to do. So you got folks like that in your corner, man. You shouldn't be able to lose, but then it's going to be up to you to do what you got to do. Okay, folks, come on now. It's 2026, day 33, 332 days left to go, man. What you going to do, baby? What you going to do? What you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, don't waste no time because we ain't got time to waste. You feel me? Peace. Get out there and do your thing. Stay smooth.